I know it's a shocker that we met in student government. For those of you who know him and who know his contributions that I'll mention a bit in a moment, here in Austin, that is where the seeds were planted on the campus of the University of Texas at El Paso when Mark White was Attorney General and the subsidies for college students were about to disappear. When we were paying $245 a semester for a state-supported university, and many of us got together not only in Austin, but in Washington, D.C. I learned from him. He was 2 years ahead of me. And I'll also share with you something that's a little bit of a shock to those of you here who know him. He was my ballroom dance partner. And so if you've ever been around him or see him now, you just say the word boogie and he'll start moving right and left. He was also the person who taught me how to not take myself too seriously. So when my then boyfriend, who became my husband, went to Trinity, Saul was always my stunt date. I was constantly worried about how to be a good girlfriend long distance, and he'd say, "Girl, you either need a stiff drink or a big slap in the face." So I said, "I'll take the drink." And we stayed friends. He came to Austin before me, and that's what I want to talk about in the next few minutes. If, with your permission, I'm going to exceed 1 minute. Saul's accomplishments in the city of Austin are so numerous that it would take the rest of the night. He came here with a heart made in El Paso and gave El Paso a heart, and gave Austin a heartbeat that spoke loudly with passion for the underserved, the underprivileged, the sick. He was one of the co-founders of ALGO, which stands for Austin Latin, Latino, Lesbian, and Gay Organization, in response to the HIV and AIDS crisis. Excuse me. Crisis among Latino and Black communities in Austin. ALGO sought to nurture community building, culture, and arts, and is currently the most extended surviving LGBTQ people of color organization in the United States, and still benefits from Saul's leadership and legacy today. Saul passed the bar and became an attorney in the city of Austin for 10 years before he transitioned to the American Cancer Society and became an assistant with people in crisis during the period of cancer. I want to pause here for a moment to say that because we became friends so many years ago and he had met my then husband, Saul personally guided each of us in both of our cancer diagnoses. Leo, my ex-husband, has survived lymphoma twice, and I'm currently in a clinical trial. And in the initial diagnosis for each of us, Saul is the one who helped us appreciate every single day, and he still does. He has been a board member for the Austin Reading is Fundamental Board of Directors, has been on ALGO's Board of Directors. He was also the treasurer for Planned Parenthood of Central Austin during the most recent, highly controversial movement that has ever challenged that organization. And he is acting as a treasurer for Jose Orta. It is at this time that I want to very appropriately recognize Jose as the recipient of the honor that we are giving to Saul. Saul has been in hospice since August, but he is right here, right now. So raise a glass and have a stiff drink on Saul's behalf while I turn this over to Jose to please accept the award.
Yolanda, you should be in the picture too. Come on. Yolanda's a good friend of Saul's. I want her here as well.
Wait, another picture.
Oh, one more.
So that you can share with Saul. You want to share these pictures with them.
All right, my name is Jose Orta, and I am not from El Paso. I was born in Lubbock, Texas, so that's close. But I live in Williamson County, and I accept this award on Saul's behalf. I have known Saul for 30 years, and Saul has been a great supporter of the El Paso and Austin organization since its inception. And I know that he would be thrilled to know that his fellow El Pasoans have honored him with this prestigious award. Though he moved away from El Paso many years ago, El Paso never left him. He carried El Paso in his heart and in his soul. I cannot begin to name all of the organizations that have benefited from his counsel, nor can I begin to tell you of all the people that have seen him as a mentor and as a friend. There are way too many people. Sadly, this summer, Saul was diagnosed with a Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. It's a rare, degenerative, and fatal brain disorder, and he is currently in hospice. On a side note, he has always pushed me to run for public office since the day we first met, and I would do the same for him. I would push him to run for public office. In fact, our first campaigns that we worked together was to try to get Lulu Flores elected. And here we are, almost 30 years later, Lulu Flores is running. And guess what? I am running too. In fact, Saul was the first person I called to talk about the possibility of me running for county commissioner in Williamson County. And he gave me the motivation. He gave me the ganas to do it. And he agreed to be my campaign treasurer. And he got on that Rolodex, he got on that email, he got on those phone calls, and he raised so much money, I couldn't back out. So here I am. Come Monday, my name is going to be on that ballot, and I will be a candidate for county commissioner in precinct 4 in Williamson County. And if I win, I will be the first Latino to ever win that, to ever serve in that seat. He has done that same thing for lots of other Latinos and lots of other Latinas. And one of them, Selena Vasquez, who's the Justice of the Peace in Brazos, in Bryan College Station, she and I talked just recently, and we talked about, what strong legacy Saul is leaving us here. And he's been the leader of our band. So tomorrow I will take this award to Brookdale, and I'm going to place it over his heart, and I will show him and tell him that El Paso is still with him, and that his pueblo recognizes him, and that his gente recognize him. Thank you for honoring my dear friend, my dear compadre, Saul Gonzalez. Thank you very much.
I'd like to invite, Renee Lott was here a little while ago, but he had to leave, but Board Member Jessica Walmart, you want to come off now? You have the honor of